The purpose of this lesson is to talk about other angle relationships inside of circles. To begin with, though, we're going to actually look at factoring. We're going to work on factoring completely because this is an important skill, not only for geometry and really complicated geometry problems, but also for Algebra 2 and an extension of Algebra 1. The idea here is that we're starting off with coefficients that are not 1. So when we factor this, we need to think that this is going to be 2x and x in parentheses. What we then do is we say 2 times 15 gives us negative 30. So we're looking at factors of negative 30 that are going to be 1 apart. So I'll say this is going to be 5x for the inside terms, and I'll say negative 6 for the outside terms, which would give us the negative 1 on the inside. Similar process here. We look at first at these numbers, 6, 19, and 15. They're not divisible by anything to begin with, so we just need to figure out some way to split up the 6x. Probably this is going to be 2x and 3x. It could also be 1x and 6x, or we could switch around the 2 and the 3. So those are some options. We then say 6 times 15 is 90. We're looking at factors of 90 that are that add to negative 19. So that's going to be 10 and 9. So we'll say 2 times a negative 5 would give me negative 10. 3 times negative 3 would give me negative 9. Negative 9 plus negative 10 gives me the negative 19 in between. Similar process over here. We look 3, 7, and 6. They're not divisible by anything, so I'll just write this down as 3x and x. I then look at this and say, well, 3 times 6 is negative 18. Factors of negative 18 that are 7 apart would probably be negative 9 and positive 2, so I'll say 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, and then 2 would give me the negative 7. So the outside terms, inside terms. The next problems are a little bit different because when we look at these 3 coefficients, they're all divisible by something. So my first step is actually to factor out a 3. So I'll say 3 times 2x squared minus x minus 21. Now what I would look at when I use the x method is I say 2 times negative 21 would give me negative 42, and they need to be negative 1 apart. So again, I'm looking at probably going to say 6 and 7 multiply to give me negative 42. I'll make this guy negative so it works. So I'll say 3, this is going to be 2x times something, and x times something. So 2 times positive 3 gives me my 6, and 1 times negative 7 would give me my negative 7. Same thing here if we look at 20, negative 44, and 8. Those are all divisible by 4. And then if I look at the x cubed, x squared, and x, they all have an x in them, so I could factor that out as well. That'll give me 5x squared minus 11x plus 2, like so. And then what I do is I factor this inside stuff. So 5 times 2 is 10 with a difference of 11. Sounds like that's 11 there. We'll say negative 10 and negative 1. So I'll leave my 4x on the outside. I'll say this is 5x and then 2x. That would give me the, this is just x. That's nothing. Ignore that completely. So 5x times negative 2 would give me the negative 10, and x times negative 1 gives me my negative 1. Lastly, I look at these numbers. I have 4, 4, and 15. They're not divisible by anything. But if I look at all these, they all have an x to the 5th power at least in there. So it would give me 4x squared plus 4x minus 15. Then using the x method, I would say 4 times 15 is negative 60 here with a difference of 4. So when I think about that, let's see, 12 and 5, that's not right. We have, how about negative 6 and 10? That would probably work. So negative 6 and 10, and we would have the 10 be positive, so I say x out here. So I'll probably say this is 2x here and 2x over here. 2x and 2x multiplied to give me 4x squared. This could have been 4x and 1x, except neither one of these numbers are divisible by 4, so that'd be a mess. So 2 times, we'll just say negative 3 gives me negative 6, and 2 times positive 5 would give me the positive 10. That's how we're factoring these trinomials. We'll come back to the lesson really soon.